Hello and welcome to the Feedback Force podcast, the game design analysis podcast of the End Defender community. Sorry guys, we're back. I'm Kelso.
I'm Kyla.
And I'm Carl.
Sorry, I'm really tired today, so I biffed the intro, but I
That
think
was
we can roll with
flawless.
it. I think we
Nah,
can roll with it, you guys.
listen, we're out of practice because it's been
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, 3 consecutive weeks where each of us had like something come up, or a trip or a thing scheduled. So,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Sometimes you got real life stuff and it happens, and that's fine.
Mhm. It sure is.
It gave me time to actually finish the game, which it was longer than I expected it to be. So that's all good.
I'm glad that I had at least played the first one, I don't know, a number of years ago, and so I like I had an idea of how long it was gonna be, but yeah, they do kind of like, wait, really?
Sneak up on you. It doesn't feel like a long game, but
Yeah,
it ends up being the little mini loops do tend to add up.
yeah.
But we will get to that.
Hmm.
How have y'all been?
Busy, quite
Oh,
busy.
Yeah, same. Quite busy.
Yeah, we I guess the first delay was from when I was out of town for a weekend. We went to Chicago. My youngest stepbrother uh got married, but he was already married. They did a vow renewal because they'd had a tiny wedding like over a year ago. So this was like the actual we're gonna get everyone together and do that. So we flew out to Chicago for that, which is cool because I haven't been to Chicago in a long time, and Ev had never been there. Um, it's a city that I like, but I understand that Ev did not. I understand why he did not like it at all. Um, and then we drove because it was only like a 2.5 hour drive from there. We drove to my hometown and stayed and visited with my dad for a couple days. And Ev surprisingly really liked my hometown in the middle of no, well, not in the middle of nowhere, but like pretty rural hometown in Iowa. And he was like, "Yeah, I could see myself living here." So I'm like, "Okay, well, sure."
well, now
Um,
now we know what kind of environments he prefers.
yeah, yeah. Um, Yeah,
There is
and
something
then
to
and
be
then I've
said
just
for
been super busy with work since then, but yeah, it was a good trip.
nice. Glad to hear it. Carl?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been so much has happened. There was a World Cup final
Oh yeah.
Oh God, yeah,
ages
that's
ago,
true. Mm-hmm.
and then I was quite busy with work stuff. And then I've gotten really into like playing blueprint speedrunning and specifically bingo formats.
Ooh, nice. I've
Nice.
seen some Let's Plays of those. The bingo looks really fun for blueprints, to be fair.
It is really fun, and you can really tell how much of a hard-coded mess that game is.
Yeah, the all of the secret background stuff that's like rigging the probabilities.
Yeah, it's such a mess. It's so earnest and so lovely, but holy shit.
I like never got around to playing Blueprints. And I
It's
feel like I should
interesting.
still do that. Like I should still try to squeeze that in, but
Yeah,
uh,
I recommend it. I had a good time with it. Um,
It's very accessible.
yeah, and it is like with Animal Well, it's one of those things where it gives you several off ramps, right? Like there's a bunch of different layers to it, but it provides
mhm.
some places where it's like you did it, the end, so that if you want to stop, you can stop.
Okay. I see. I
Um,
appreciate that because it's kind of gotten to the point where it's like the mythos of the game is like so big that that I'm just like, oh God, I don't have the fucking bandwidth
I
for this
mean,
right now. But
there's some really interesting, really hidden content in the game that you never have to see, like that you do not have to engage with.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
it's maybe not as obscure as Animal Well, but like
Yeah, there's no ARG that we know of, but
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's still on the list of like games that I like definitely want to get to, but I just I don't know, I gotta get in the like the fucking brain space to like start playing games earnestly again. It's been a minute.
yeah, good luck, Carl, in your speedrunning endeavors. Maybe someday we see you on the GDQ stage doing like a bingo race with somebody.
True.
Yeah, there was a big tournament announced by the developer with
Nice.
a $20,000 prize pool,
Whoa.
but
Nice.
I failed to qualify.
Wow.
I mean, there's
Which,
a lot of people doing it, I'm sure.
yeah, I was not expecting to. But I think since the qualifier, I've gotten good enough that I could have at this point.
Nice.
So it's fine. It's fun to follow.
And
Yeah.
I feel like it's exactly the sort of game that really benefits from having a few arbitrary goals placed on top of it. Um, because the game itself is so much about like deciding what your goals are going to be on a given day and then like pivoting if your luck doesn't quite match up with what you were planning. And like that's bingo in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good match. If you do end up playing it, Kelso, one thing I recommend
Mhm.
is keep a notebook handy, and in addition to writing down, like clues and interesting things, write down like your current goals. Like, what questions do you have that you would like to answered, and what like experiments do you explicitly want to run in terms of what happens if I do X, or I should
Is this
try
like
Y.
is this like gonna be a Lorelei tier unhinged notebook game?
A little bit. In the
Okay.
end, like the
That's
actual
fun.
taking notes on the puzzles part is almost best done on the computer because you like it's easier to take screenshots of a lot of stuff than it is to write it
Okay.
down.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um, but like one of the things is it's a procedurally built. It's kind of a roguelike. So it's like good to know at the start of a given run, like here are three things I'm trying to accomplish, and based on what my luck is and like how it looks like the day is starting out, I'm going to pick one of those things to try and do,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah,
a
that's
that's a really good way to not feel overwhelmed by the game or feel like you're just having bad luck a bunch of days in a row or whatever.
that's helpful. That sounds very helpful actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Cool.
um, yeah, so that's Blueprints. um, we just started playing yesterday Big Walk, which came out. It's by House, the makers of Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah.
And it is a like um, voice proximity hang out with your friends game where it's just like a big environment and you're like these weird little sphere people, like a little stack of spheres. You look like one of those like drinking birds toys. Um, and you just walk around with folks and there's like some cooperative environmental puzzles that are made trickier by the proximity voice thing. And it's just very sweet and cute so far.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for that and looking at my husband and being like, "Babe, we could play that together." And he's like, "No, I have no interest in this game." I'm like, "Oh no."
Yeah,
But
it,
I can never get like that enough people together
yeah,
like
I mean it's
consistently enough
minimum
to do that kind of thing.
minimum two, so like you can play it just two player if you want, but it supports up to like I don't know 20 or something like absurd like that. Like you can play it with a big group if you want.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
we are
Have we
we are
decided what to call
excited.
this genre, or are we still calling it friend slop?
I dislike the term friend slop because to me
Yeah.
that implies that like there is no design involved, that like they just and maybe for some of them that's true. Maybe some of them are poorly thrown together, but like I don't know. I think like Peak actually has some like good design elements to it, and Big Walk has some good design elements to it. So I kind of object to the term friend slop.
I don't mind it. I think good games can be called slop.
Well, I'm too anti AI to re-embrace to give leniency to the term slop. I want slop to mean something bad because I need it to refer to the bullshit that AI produces. But it's
That's
you
fair.
know I think like proximity co-op maybe is uh is a good name for it. But like I don't know. I think it's kind of cool as an emergent genre. The idea that you can build a gaming genre around the concept of like hearing or not hearing people based on how close they are, right? Like that's the core of the genre, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
also think there's something to explore philosophically about like we're now trying to make third spaces out of video games, kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah. Well, someone was saying while we were playing yesterday, can you imagine if Big Walk came out during COVID? Right? Like how
Yeah,
grateful we would all be for this excuse to hang out even in any kind of space with our friends.
yeah,
So, important to not take that for granted. Um, that we have it gives you an excuse to socialize. And I normally am not a social games player. I tend to prefer single player stuff. So something that is not like joining a guild raid or like, you know, I don't know, playing like competitive RTS or whatever, something that's like a little more laid back, a little more just goofing around, like feels way more up my alley.
yeah. No, I completely agree with that. Um, yeah, I feel like too much like co-op online whatever like anything that you're gonna play with your friends multiplayer or a lot of it at least is has been so like I don't know. They try to make it like more high stakes than it needs
Yeah,
to be.
it's stressful. And like I
Yeah,
don't want hanging out with my friends to be stressful, right? Like I want it to be a
yeah,
fun time.
yeah. That's why I never went in for like the big guild shit when I was actively playing World of Warcraft for however many years that was. Uh, it's just not fucking worth the effort.
Yeah. Um so that is mostly uh the what's new on the games front. Although on other media front, I did finally like yesterday start watching Witch Hat Atelier, which I've been meaning to watch for
Oh,
ages and ages.
all right, yeah.
Which so
I've been
far,
thinking about watching it, but like, I hate modern anime.
I mean, that's fine. If like, it's not for everyone. It is very well animated. Like the animation itself is like very high budget and well done. It's like I don't want to say it's a cozy anime. It's a little bit of a cozy anime. Kind of wholesome, like little girls at school, kind of wholesome. But there is some like action and some kind of uh, darker edges to it occasionally. But I'm enjoying it very much so far. I'm on like I think I just finished episode 8 out of like 12 or 13, something like that. So I'm like 2/3 of the way through. And I'm
Nice.
enjoying it. I feel like almost like I've been peer pressured into it. Like I'm enjoying it. I chose to watch this, but it was more that like, you know, a bunch of the reactors that I watch regularly are watching it and like it's all over my Tumblr dash and I'm like, "Fine. I will check it out."
Oh, see that kind of thing like activates my oppositional defiance, and I'm like, no. I like
Yeah,
cross my arms and I stomp my foot and I refuse to engage.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I do that occasionally as well, but this some of the stuff I've seen looks intriguing. And now the thing is, I'm realizing now is that it might be that some of the stuff that I'm most interested in terms of like lore and storyline stuff, may actually be stuff from the manga that's not in this season of the anime. It's entirely
Fair.
possible. So I may not get to see what's up with that, but that's okay. I'll find out eventually, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If I get really desperate, I will like look into the manga. But that's all right. I'll have Link Click season 3 coming out imminently as well, so that'll definitely take up my my brain space.
That's fair. Yeah. God, have I been watching anything? I don't feel like I have. I guess we have like sort of an ongoing like when we don't have anything else that we both want to watch. We have just been going through old episodes of The Simpsons, which has been man, it holds up. Kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
Simpsons used to be really good,
Yeah.
apparently. Um,
Like
yeah,
we literally just a couple hours ago watched the monorail episode because that was the next one that came up. We're like, oh shit, it's the monorail episode.
nice. Yeah, I understand that seasons like 3 through 7 or something are like the Simpsons golden years.
Yeah, yeah. Which is we're like at the early. I don't remember exactly what episode the monorail is, but we're in that early
Yeah.
part of that time period. So it's like it's cool because it's like I do remember seeing it like when I was like very small.
Hmm.
Uh, so it's like oh this is actually like way better as an adult, huh?
Some of the jokes don't go over your head
Well, yeah,
anymore.
some of the yeah, and some of the jokes maybe have not aged super great, but there's surprisingly less of that than you would expect.
Yeah.
So it's just an interesting like time capsule kind of thing, I
Yeah,
guess.
isn't it like still going and on like season 23 or something absurd like that?
Yeah, let's 23 seems too short or seems too small of a number, but let me look
Uh
because I'm curious about it now.
37.
Uh yeah.
37. Jesus Christ.
I mean it's been going for well, it started the year that I was born. So
Yeah.
it started in '89, so that tracks for age.
Season 37 is the first of 4 seasons ordered by Fox. So they're booked for at least another additional 3. Maybe they'll
Sure.
make it a clean 40 and then call it. Um, I don't know. I think it's outlived its relevancy.
It is pretty crazy that it's still occurring, honestly. Uh, okay, we are in. Okay, Monorail is season 4, so we're like right at
Yeah,
the beginning of season 3, season 4. We've like
yeah, hit the good stuff.
we're getting into it real good here, eating good for the next however long we're doing this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the Simpsons are from like the older time when a season is like at least 20 some episodes, right?
Yeah, I think most seasons of at least the early stuff. Season 3 was 24, season 4 is 22. So yeah, they're
Yeah,
long seasons.
yeah. It's not like modern seasons where it's like, oh yes, the 7 episodes of this season.
Yeah.
You're like, come on.
Oh god, season 6 is 25.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it has to be over 10 before you can call it a season.
Yeah, right. It's
Yeah. It is getting a little annoying.
if it's
Um
under 10, it's like this is a mini series. This is not an actual.
I
yeah,
also
that's
think
what I feel.
if you call it a season, it has to be released weekly
Hmm.
or like bi-weekly or whatever.
Not
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 all,
net.
not all at once.
Yeah, I was gonna say not Netflix style like binge drop.
I do, however, prefer Netflix style.
Yeah. Um, I have mixed feelings. There's something nice about like having something to look forward to on a weekly basis.
Yeah, but I end up not giving a shit about it at the end.
I guess
I can't count on myself to like consistently watch something at the same time every week. Or I
yeah.
guess if it's like a streaming drop. I like it when they do like as streaming drops. Like
Mhm.
it's not
So
aired. You don't have to watch it at a specific time, but it's like, okay, there's a new episode this week and it's available to you at any time. That's fine.
I like when they release it all at once, then I will finish a like 6, 7 out of 10 series if they release it all at once. But if it if they do it weekly, I will like watch 3 episodes and
And then fall off.
then
And
be
then
like,
fall
I
off.
don't want to wait for an episode of something I don't enjoy that much.
I mean, maybe that's healthier, right? Because like
Yeah, I mean it probably is, but I don't
filters
like
out.
being healthy.
Fair.
That's
Um,
incredibly fair, yes.
yeah, no, I was thinking Dropout does the like weekly release schedule thing. So like, we're in the current season of Game Changer at the moment. And so it's like every Monday I'm like, "Ooh, it's Game Changer Day." I mean, there's a new Game Changer. I should check it out.
Yeah.
I gotta be
Um,
honest, I enjoy Game Changer, but I've realized I don't actually like the format. I just like Brenna Lee Mulligan.
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I like watching Game Changer from a game design perspective because we have to make a new and compelling game every week for a season is kind of a really interesting challenge, and some of the things they come up with are like pretty intriguing and pretty well designed. And it's really nice to see someone taking care with their game design. You know, looking at you, Mr. Beast, for like rather than throwing together some slop that no one's play tested and falls apart on first contact with players. Um, uh,
Yeah.
but like there's a recent episode of, I guess, spoilers for recent episodes of Game Changers if people care. Spoilers for Count the Rice, which is a very fun episode. One of the recent games is Count the Rice, which is really fun. Like they have like 7 people on, and at first, like the game is literally counting grains of rice, right? Like they bring out a bag of rice, and you have to estimate the number of grains of rice in it. But as the game goes on, it turns out, and anybody who loses a round, who has like the worst estimate for that round, gets eliminated. But the people who get eliminated go to another room where they play a different game. And then if you lose in that game, you go to another room where you play a different game. And if you win, you go back up to the previous room. And so it becomes this weird, like, sliding back and forth purgatory of winning
I
and
was just
losing
about to say
games.
purgatory, yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that sounds like. Oh my god.
And
Ah.
it ends up being really fun because like there's secret information that in order to win the overall game, there's secret information that you need at the bottommost room.
Oh
So you
god.
have to lose all the games and then win all the games in order to win the game.
That's oh no. That's terrifying.
Yeah, it's really surprisingly well designed.
Huh.
Um, but yeah, so I think from a creative perspective, I enjoy seeing the ways they try and like reinvent and undermine every new episode, which I'm sure is must be getting crazy hard for them, having done like 70 something episodes to keep coming up with ideas.
hmm
So impressive. I would love to work with them someday. That would be like a real dream job to get to do game design on that scale.
That would be super cool. Would be.
Um,
Uh,
is
should we
that
talk about a video game that we played?
speaking of games?
Yeah, is this the segue moment?
Yeah.
I guess it must be.
Video
Oh
games?
no. Oh
Yeah.
no, oh god, I keep losing my tabs because I was supposed to intro the game that we played. I can remember well enough. We played Strange Antiquities, which was developed by Bad Viking. It's a sequel kinda. It takes place in the same universe as their previous game, Strange Horticulture. It's like a deduction mystery, um, a little bit Lovecraftian. There's some of that in there, but that's what we played.
Yeah, little bit like mystery game, a little bit hidden object game to some extent.
Yeah, it's it's got a little bit of a lot to it, I
Yeah.
guess you could say.
Yeah. It's interesting that it kind of feels like an elevated casual game in some ways,
Hmm.
right? Like a casual game reaching beyond its station.
Yes, that's a great way of describing it, actually. Um,
I had a thought about this game, and it was like, is this just Valhalla in a very different setting?
You're not wrong.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, people come in, they have a request. You have some books that you use for reference to determine what will fulfill those requests, and then you try and fulfill them. Mostly by identifying a bunch of weird shit that's hanging around in the shop, because you're not the owner of the shop, you're the apprentice of the owner of the shop, and you don't quite know what you're doing yet.
yes, the owner has been called away on mysterious and apparently very important business, and he leaves you in charge, but seems to have like no faith in you whatsoever when he leaves.
Seems to, and yet he does leave you in charge
Yeah,
of a
it
bunch
was
of potentially
interesting.
dangerous things.
What
Shows
I
up like every day, making sure you're in charge.
yeah. What I was a little I'm gonna just we're gonna come out of here hot with something that I was like, oh, that was kind of disappointing. Uh, when your boss leaves, he says, "Look, don't fuck with anything in this locked section of the store. Just don't bother with that." And then you like get in there because it's part of the game. You got to get into this locked thing. It's a puzzle to solve,
Yeah.
and he just like doesn't address it. I'm like,
I know he like never acknowledges that you like broke into his dangerous cabinet.
yeah, that you
I
A
mean,
figured out how to do it and like B didn't kill anyone with all the horrible stuff that's in there.
well, maybe
Well,
depending
yeah,
on your actions, you may have.
that's true. That's
um,
true.
yeah, that could have been a little more reactive. To be fair to him, he does have other things on his mind. Because there's like a weird plague type thing affecting the city where like people are going zombie with like blacked out eyes, and there's some kind of ritual that's maybe being planned that you have to stop, and you know, Cthulhu type stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely spooky. Like I don't know, nothing like crazy like novel as far as
Mhm.
threats in these kinds of games go, but like I don't know, just the writing was quite good at describing it and making things I don't know.
Yeah,
It
I
it
I
just
have some issues with it. Not with
fair.
the story itself. I think the story itself was fine, but in terms of storytelling, I honestly had a lot of trouble following what was going on and what was supposed to be important. Because you have like you never leave. Well, that's not entirely true, but effectively, you never leave your shop interface. So you never see any of the outside world stuff. You can see some maps and you can like see some pictures of some places on the maps occasionally, but for the most part, you're never leaving the shop. And so you have people coming to you every single day, and there's like they have a list of the important characters at the bottom, and there's like 10 of them already, and then on top of that you also get a bunch of unimportant npcs visiting, and I very quickly lost track of who was important and who wasn't, and who they were and what they were like supposed to be. Like I had to keep referencing this list of characters of like, who is this again, what were they in charge of, what did they tell me last time.
Yeah,
And
it sort of seems like maybe we don't need a list of important people, but we need a list of just like everybody who comes in
yeah,
more than once. I don't
Yeah,
know.
or some place where the plot so far that has been told to us is summarized. Like, what are some things I have learned about
Yeah.
what's going on? And or like if there were fewer people who were important, right? Like if it was just 4 or 5 characters and they were very visually distinct from everyone else, that would
Hmm.
probably help. If they had, because they always come in and tell you about like the weird stuff they've been dealing with or have seen. If it could just pop up a static picture of that, so I have a visual on it, that would also help me remember a lot better, I think. Um, but yeah, I
Yeah,
lost track of most of the story until like the very end, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's
I
fair.
would say
Um,
one thing that I found nice was when someone came in and said like, "Oh, by the way, if my sister comes,
don't
then
don't give
like
her anything dangerous.
yeah," and that kind of gave me a reason to like pay attention to who they were.
Hmm.
I kind
Yes.
of wish they did more things like that.
Yeah, and I kind of wish they did more things like that, and that they again like emphasized it a little more. Like I wish, that character was came in and there was a little pop up that said like, "Oh, this is such and such a sister." Um, but the sister one in particular I did catch, but I feel like there were maybe 1 or 2 people who were related to other storylines that I forgot until I was like done giving them stuff that they were someone I was supposed to know who they were already. Um, maybe I
yeah,
maybe I'm just been scatterbrained lately and like wasn't paying
I
enough attention while playing, but
I think the other part of this, and I don't like have a problem necessarily with this game's art style because it it has a lot of information to convey visually, and it does do that, but it's not the character art is like
yeah.
everybody looks very, very similar just by the way that like the facial structure is stylized and um so telling people apart in particular is difficult sometimes
Yeah,
because they
there's not a lot of
yeah,
character design. Like they all
yes,
feel like they're from the same paper doll set, right? Like there's not a lot of like distinctive character design, a la, like obviously not every game can be, Phoenix Wright or whatever, but
sure.
it would have been good to have some more stylization on the
It's
individual
yeah,
character.
it's a little too grounded.
Yeah,
Everybody looks a little too normal and indistinct.
yeah. Which, like clearly this is a small team on a budget doing what they can with what they have.
Yeah,
That's fine. You gotta kind of forgive that sort of thing. But man, that game could really have benefited from some striking character design. Um,
yeah, I agree.
but that said, the mechanics are quite fun.
Yeah, and
Uh,
and and it does, I mean, it like I said, it has to convey a lot of information visually to
yeah.
you, and for the most part, apart from the character design, it really manages to do that
Yes, and I
quite
like
well.
the interface because whenever you can inspect any of the things in your possession that are in the shop, and there's like an interface where it's like there's the touch where you can see like what materials is it made out of and like what does it feel like. There's senses, which is like, do you hear any like sounds or smells coming from it?
Hmm.
Um, there's another one that's not the last one is like aura, basically, like do you feel any
Yeah,
weird sensations coming from it? But there's one other that I've missed. Uh,
there's touch. I think it's touch, smell. Yeah, it's touch,
oh,
smell, sound, and
Yeah, I was about to say it smell and
is it
sound
smell one?
different.
Yeah.
no, smell and sound are the same one, I
Oh
think.
shit, no, you're right. Yeah.
Touch and visual, I think, maybe are different. So the
Visual.
first one,
Okay, yeah.
materials, is just visual, like what
Oh
does it
yeah,
look
yeah,
like,
it
what
is.
is it
That's
made
what it
of?
is. Yeah, you're
And
right.
then yeah, and then touch is like a separate sense. Like when I touch it, does it feel warm? Does it feel bumpy? Does it like feel cool to the touch? Is it vibrating? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, nope, you're right. That's exactly what it is.
And you start with like one basic reference book that you unlock pages in over time, and as you go you get more reference books for like, okay, but what are the different types of sigils that can be on it, and what do the different types of gemstones that can be embedded in it mean? And eventually you get like, what kind of aura is it emitting, and like what school of magic does that belong to, and it's like, or alchemy. And it's very like, eventually you're juggling a lot of different reference books, which is
Yeah.
kind of a cool puzzle mechanic-y sort of thing.
I
And
do,
then
yeah, I do like how the complexity builds on itself.
yeah,
And it was the same in Strange Horticulture. That's I don't know. It's nice.
one like tiny nitpick is, I bet this made more sense in Strange Horticulture, because I assume in
Yes.
Strange Horticulture it's, you're doing the same thing with plants. The fact that after you give someone an artifact, you keep the artifact, like you still have the artifact,
Yeah.
feels way weirder than giving someone a some of your book, like herbal supply of something or whatever.
Yeah, no, it completely. I definitely noticed that when I started playing this and I was like, "Huh. I mean, I guess."
Yeah, I guess I have like
Sure.
5 of these. Sure, it's like
Yeah,
these weird.
I've got 3 world-ending fucking haunted dolls in stock. And I'm gonna get another shipment in on Tuesday. So just come back then if you want more than 3.
Yeah,
Like
I can just
Just
give you
giving
yeah.
it away to everyone.
yeah.
Yeah, nobody pays for anything. Some people will trade stuff to
Hmm.
you, but I mean, I'm assuming the payment is implied, but
Yeah,
it is just a little silly.
yeah. It feels weird that it remains in your inventory after you give it away. But then you can, like, you can mark things with what they are once you've identified them, and it lets you like customize the labels if you want to say like, okay, well, I'm going to give this one a red label because it has energy resonance, or I'm going to put the symbol for the aura on all of these labels in case I ever need an item with that specific aura, or whatever.
I
Yeah.
very quickly turned on the auto label feature.
Yes. Me too.
Yeah, I should have. I for some stupid reason did not, but um yeah, it would have been way easier. um
I will say I also have a nitpick because it was kind of a big frustration. Um, I'm not sure you can call it a nitpick if it's a big frustration, but whatever. The book opening the books are so slow. And I
yeah,
open something, I read it, and then I forget it 10 seconds later, and I have to go back and read it again.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, the book interface could be a little better. The main book at least has some bookmarks that, and like links that let you go back and forward, but the other books don't. So you have to like flip through the pages individually, which takes a long time, which is annoying as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the main book is I was okay with it because yeah, like you said, it's it basically like you've got a table of contents at the beginning that has all of these objects listed. You can click on the name and it takes you to that page, but then there's also an index in the back so you can cross-reference things. Like that's worked out really well. But all of the other ones, yeah, it is just like click through every page until you see the thing you're looking for.
yeah,
Okay. Shit.
yeah. So that,
I,
yeah, that could be better. That the whole book interface generally
I
should
feel
be
like this
snappier,
is a game that's supposed to be like zen and like quite relaxing,
cozy,
but
and
I
then
do find it's like stressful.
yeah, I mean that's fair. It's like,
I think that's a me issue rather than the game, but
is it the because of the high stakes or because of how organized the game wants you to be?
um, I don't know. I would have to think about that.
Because
I
I
definitely
sure
understand
does.
that like it does expect a lot of organization from you,
Yeah,
and you kind of just have to figure it out yourself. Um,
yeah, and some people like games that force them to be very organized, and some people don't. Right, like that's a matter of kind of your preference for how you
yeah.
like to play games. Um, it's got, we should say like that's the identifying things is not the only mechanic in the game. There's like several categories of puzzles. The main one is like identifying stuff in your shop based on customer requests. But there's also like a daily hint for where to go to find a new thing.
Hmm.
And that's like a little kind of map based puzzle. Like identify the location on one of these three maps based on this like really esoteric hint. Some of them are easier than others.
Yeah.
Um, and then there is,
Sometimes
um,
you'll get notes or like
yeah,
letters or notes or things like that do the
point to
same
the
thing.
map
Basically,
location.
yeah,
Yeah.
they point you
And then
like.
there is
Mhm.
then there's the fiddle around with the shop puzzles, because the shop has all these like little hidden compartments and like unfinished Ouija board type things, and
Yeah.
all kinds of little things. So like finding little trinkets and using them to interact with things in the shop and getting hints about how to interact with things in the shop and figuring that out is also like a third layer of puzzle that comes
Mhm.
up periodically.
And
That's
then
kind
I would consider some customer interactions to be a different sort of puzzle because not only do you have to identify the object that they want, but also sometimes it's like you have to know when to not give them what they're asking for.
yeah,
And sometimes they explicitly will say, "Don't give my sister, you know, anything dangerous." And sometimes it's not quite. Like
yeah,
sometimes you'll make a wrong decision and not really realize why.
yeah.
I
And
did that a couple times.
it's not quite like super open ended, because you can't just give them anything. It'll be like you must give them one of these two things, but you get to decide which
Yes.
of the two things you give them. Um, so it's like it's a narrative branch, and some of them are interesting. Some of them, yeah, do not quite go the way you expect them to. One of them results in a woman kidnapping your cat. Um, if you
Yeah,
took it your
I always gave them the most like occult thing.
yeah.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Yeah, I gave her the like more soothing thing, which was why she was angry with me for not giving her what she actually wanted.
Yeah.
Um,
And then she kidnaps your cat.
yeah, I did mostly try to not judge people unless it was like clearly someone putting people in danger. I did give the cult leader like an item of strength, which maybe I shouldn't have, but whatever.
I didn't because I thought that the cult was like I don't know, they portray the cult as being like very dangerous, but then like she helps you if you give her the item that she asks for, basically, she does like help you kind of at the end. But if you don't give it to her, her followers just fucking kill her. So like I don't know. I feel kind of bad, even though it's like she seems evil, but is she? I don't know.
Well, she seems
It's
evil, but also like this whole town seems kind of operating on that wavelength. So like I was like, maybe
yeah,
this is just a
that's
normal
true.
religion here, right? Like
Yeah,
this is just how the people here behave. Like
and I
why not?
think it's been a long time since I played the first game. I believe it's the same cult is also in that game. I know there's a cult. I think it's the same one,
Hmm.
since it all takes place in the same city. You can go to the strange horticulture shop
Yeah,
in this
on the
game.
map, and they'll
Um,
give you a nice plant.
yeah, they give you a nice little plant. So I think it's the same cult, and I do not could not tell you the plot of that game, but
Yeah,
uh, similar type of stuff. There's like a I don't know some I think murders or something is happening. Spooky murders though. I don't
yeah,
know. um, but yeah, I thought I was like doing a good thing by not giving her the item that she was requesting. Like I thought I was stopping some greater evil, but no, she just gets murdered.
yeah, yeah. There and
So
I like how they do the ending stuff, because like there's like a big, ending dramatic sequence where you have to make a bunch of decisions to try and stop this portal from opening and
Mhm.
like eldritch forces from coming through. But then also at the very end they show you like all of the relevant main characters and what happened to them. So there's a lot of variation based on, presumably, based on which characters you picked and sort of like which decisions you made, and
Yeah.
you kind of get to see the outcome of what you did. And like I feel like I had mostly good outcomes. There was definitely like one person where it was like this person like died off screen, and I'm like, who was that? I don't even remember this person. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I unfortunately made pretty bad decisions and got almost everyone killed.
oh no.
Um, like your boss, like my boss sacrificed himself to end the problem, and the priestess lady got killed. The guy, some guy just shows up and he's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to break into a fucking tomb or something." And I got him killed. I don't remember who he is. Like he just showed up and was very important, I guess.
Was he the
Um,
like adventurer treasure hunter guy who was kind of
I
obnoxious?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he didn't he's missing presumed dead. He does not die, but it's
Okay.
pretty heavily
In
implied that he
in
dies.
in my ending, he was just kind of embarrassed that I didn't go with his plan.
Fair. Yeah, I got so many people killed that I I basically only had one plan that I could follow. There were a couple of variations of how I could do it, but there was pretty much only like I didn't get to pick between like, oh, or you can go with this person and do this with them to save the day. It was just like, no, you're going with your boss and he's gonna sacrifice himself, I guess.
Interesting.
Eh,
I I went with my boss, but he ended up being okay. I was able to successfully resist like a mind compulsion thing, and it worked out. Um, Yeah, no, the I almost went like a bad route by accident. And I did like save scum slightly to avoid it, because I had remembered there were two people who came to me and told me like meet me at such and such place when you have the box. Your boss says meet me at the pit, which I had no idea where that was. It turns out it's just a labeled spot on the map, so you can just go
yeah.
there. And the other guy said like meet me in the tombs where the like this the remains of this giant beast, and I knew where that was. um so I was curious about like what would happen if I went there. And I clicked on it, and I didn't realize that would like kick off the ending sequence.
Ah,
And so he was like, okay, now you gotta like give me the box and put it here. And I'm like, I don't have the box. Like I haven't found the box yet. Which I realized later, like I think you can actually still get the box after you've kicked off the end sequence. But at the time, I was like, am I like soft locked? Like what? Because I can't give him the box because I don't have the box. So I ended up reloading a save and then noticed that the other location is on the map. So I'm like, okay, let me find the box, and then I'm gonna go to the place I actually wanted to go to, which was meeting my boss. Um,
yeah.
and so I did that, and then I guess whatever previous decisions I had made worked out pretty well in my favor, because like I think pretty much everybody was okay. Maybe there was like one of the like occult people sacrificed themselves, or like sacrificed an arm or something like that to seal it off. But we did okay. Most
Okay.
everybody lived. So
That's fair. Yeah, that sounds like a better. I guess the my boss's brother stayed alive, so that was fine.
you know,
He was
the like
he
museum
seemed
owner,
nicer.
right?
Yeah, the museum owner. He seems nicer than his brother, so I was like okay with that, honestly.
Yeah.
Um yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of endings. I was kind of looking
Hmm.
afterwards. There's a whole bunch of endings that are like all slightly different to moderately different. But then I guess there's also the secret true ending, which I don't
Oh,
even know what you have to do to get that, but there's like a secret ending, I guess.
all right. Well, that's good
I
to
don't know
know.
what happens in it either, but yeah. Um,
I probably didn't get that, but I did get my boss to grudgingly admit that like I show some promise. So, I feel good about that.
oh, good. Love to be validated by my boss.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a bunch of storylines that's very clear to the developers, but
Yeah.
not always communicated easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
That's why I'm saying like, I think having interstitial imagery specific to the storylines you want to communicate, and having more distinctive character design to help those characters and their relevant actions and desires stick in your mind better. Like those two things, I think, would go a huge way to improving the readability of the narrative in this game.
Yeah, as it stands, like I said, I think there's some good writing moment to moment, like just in terms
Yeah,
of descriptions and things, but it is definitely a puzzle game with a narrative and not a narrative game with puzzles,
yeah.
which is
Um,
fine. Nothing wrong with
yeah,
that.
it's fine. It's not like the narrative is not dragging the game down in
Yeah,
any way. Like it's and like I said, the ending still felt tense, and I was like familiar enough with the general idea of like, okay, there's this black casket that gets talked about at the end of every day. Um, there's some kind of eldritch force reaching through people by turning their eyes black, and it's trying to open this casket, and that is bad, and we have to do something about it. Like that's the general broad strokes of what you need to know for the plot, and that is communicated. More
yeah,
detail than that is kind of starts to get muddy.
yeah, basically.
I know there was something with like some women who were drowned who kept being found. I have no idea what that was about. Um, yeah, there were like a couple other things. The cult subplot, the like sister subplot.
Hmm.
Um, there was at least one other subplot where I'm like, I feel like this has been mentioned a couple times now, and I don't really understand what the stakes are. But all right.
Yeah, what was? I am trying to think. I There was like another thing that occurred, and I'm trying to remember what it was.
There was something with a
Um,
bunch of crows. There was like a guy who was really into the crows.
oh yeah, I think the crows were just meant to be like an omen.
An ominous omen of the big evil thing trying to come through,
Yeah,
something like that.
basically. That's all I got out of it at least. Um, but maybe there was more to it. Maybe maybe there was. But yeah, that one guy was very obsessed with the crows. You are correct.
Yeah. There was also like a kind of um, slightly douchey treasure hunter type guy wandering around who like is smarmy but can get you like important artifacts. So you kind of put up with him. I am very curious what his secret plan would have been. I have no faith that it would have like worked or like not gotten a bunch of people killed. But I am
Yeah,
curious how it would have turned out.
yeah, that's fair.
Um, when you guys, how did you prioritize the like daily hints of like, hey, there's a new artifact available to you if you can solve this little mini puzzle? Did you always go and get the item right away, or did you just like let it sit?
Right away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
I
much right
love
away.
doing those.
yeah. I would do them right away if I felt like I would try them right away. And if I felt stuck on it, I would just leave it alone and then like come back to it at the beginning of the next day or something. Um, and there were like a couple where it wasn't until much later where I'm like, oh, duh, obviously, actually, it's this. And then it's like, right, I probably could have gotten that like 3 days, 4 days ago.
Yeah, there were a couple that I had to put off just for that I was like I don't fucking know. I'll give this another day and let it sit. And then yeah, it does just kind of be like, oh right, I should have figured that out, but eh.
And
Usually it was not too terrible.
did either of you get to play the failure consequence mini game? Yes.
No,
There's a
I know
yacht.
that it was there. Yeah,
A lot.
I think I played it 3 times. I avoided it for a really long time, and then one day I just like I made too many mistakes and I got it. And then once I saw like, oh, there's a mini game to like so you don't like as long as you can win the mini game, like you don't get actually very penalized for failure. And then I stopped being quite as careful about it. Um,
yeah. I didn't realize. there was a mini game until after I had played the game, but the meter going down stressed me out so much that I would just like restart if I fucked up too many times.
Yeah, that's
So I
fair.
did not play it.
Yeah, there's like a fear meter where it's like an eldritch fear is taking over you. And like every time you get something wrong, it's to discourage random guessing, basically
Yes.
what it's there for. Um, and every time you get something wrong, it ticks down, and if it ticks into the all the way into the red, then you have to do like a calming ritual, which is you have to play a round of Yahtzee. And the Yahtzee mini game gets like a little bit harder every time. Um, and I only ended up doing it 3 times. I never lost the Yahtzee mini game, so I do not know what happens if you lose the Yahtzee mini game.
No, me neither. But I also just realized that if your cat is gone, I wonder if it's harder.
Oh, if you're less calm, so the fear is more
No,
intense. Oh yeah,
like
yeah, you're right.
your cat can
Re-rolls,
re-roll dice.
yeah, she re-rolls your first set of fails in the Yahtzee mini game. Um, Yeah, I guess you would have to fail during the period of time when she's kidnapped. I don't know if you can not. If I don't know if you can fail to rescue the cat. Is that possible? I tried to like. I'm like I don't give in to ransom notes. I'm gonna see like if the cat can take care of herself. What if I just don't go to meet the kidnapper? And it doesn't let you end the day. It's like I can't sleep knowing that something is happening has happened to this cat. I gotta go, and so you are forced to go and confront the kidnapper.
Well, that's realistic at least.
Yeah, like fair enough. Okay, good to know that like the game because I was a little bit worried like oh if I go and I like refuse to give her the thing she will kill the cat anyway, and if I don't go maybe like the cat will have a chance to escape and or she will come to me and I'll have a chance to free the cat or like I was
Yeah.
not sure how branchy that part of the narrative can be, so I kind of appreciated it being pruned down to no you have to go do this confrontation. um
Or the cat will kill her.
yeah, I mean, listen, we don't know, this cat could be some kind of eldritch, like they kind of imply that the cat is a little more magical than it seems maybe,
Yeah.
so um I don't know. But yeah, so I that made me wonder like is it even possible to fail to save the cat? Like
I
is
don't
there a string along that I could have chosen which would have involved her killing the cat and or like, me failing to figure out where the cat was and it just dies? Um
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean the cat
I'm
is
curious.
listed
Yeah.
as rescued on the end screen as though, like it's a
Oh no, that's true. I forgot about that.
changeable fate. So,
Oh no, you could kill the cat. Oh,
can you?
that's so sad. I don't know. Let's see. Let me
Say, look it. I guess we can look it up.
yeah, let
Um,
Cat just
me
escapes.
Jupiter, fate, TBA, unfilled in on this wiki. So never mind.
hmm,
Yeah, Jupiter is the store cat. It's got heterochromia, and it like lays on your counter, and you can pet it, and it purrs. It's a good kitty, and it can re-roll your first failures in the Yahtzee minigame.
I would
let's
say,
see.
isn't it time that we stop using giving characters heterochromia?
I
I'm
mean,
so over it.
I feel like for a cat, it's okay. Um, you don't like the cool, edgy dual eye colors?
No,
It does feel very like middle school OC at this point, for sure. I'm surprised that the werewolf character in Jupiter Ascending didn't have heterochromia, but yeah, I don't know. Some real people do have actual heterochromia. It is a thing that occurs, um, but yeah, it should definitely be used sparingly.
Yeah.
But like I said, I
Uh,
don't mind it in a cat. So I think it's a little more common in cats than humans, but I could be wrong.
I think no, I think it is in animals. I think it is more common. What is it? Like it's like in certain dogs, it's also linked to like deafness. Like if they've got a blue eye, then they're like likely to be deaf in that ear, something like that.
Interesting.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to remember. I want to say it's like specifically
Australian
it's
shepherds.
white German shepherds. Oh,
Oh,
maybe Australian shepherds.
because I know
But
Australian shepherds have like some like crazy intense like pale blue eyes sometimes.
oh yeah, I think yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. Um, yeah, yeah. It's I guess it's more common in animals. I don't know anyone personally with heterochromia, but I have met some animals. So
Yeah. But yeah, strange antiquities. Is it worth talking about like any of the characters specifically? Like I'm look. Here's the thing. Like I'm looking at the wiki page, right, where it has like here's a selection of 6 characters. Um, I one of them is Jupiter the cat, so that's obviously Jupiter. Um, Barton Potter is the like smarmy adventure guy. I recognize him because he has an eye patch on.
okay,
Um, Audrey Bell is the cult leader. I recognize her because she is wearing like red robes and has a painted red line on her chin. The other 3, Simone Green, Francesca Robertson, and Verona Green, I could not tell you who any of them are or what their role is in the town. Like Francesca has the 3 marks on her cheek that are meant to communicate that she's part of that society that uses that as a ritual, but I only
hmm
recognize that because I like had to find the artifact that left those claw marks, right? So I recognized the artifact and the
yes.
mark of the artifact. I don't remember what that means about her specifically.
Well, aren't they the sisters? One of them is the sister that takes your cat, maybe? I just
Maybe
hear two people with the same last name with feminine names, and I'm like, they might be sisters. I don't
Simone
know
and
though.
Verona. Verona's really like elderly. Um, she was maybe a nurse.
Oh, she was no, I think she was like a lady scientist researcher or so, like an
Yeah,
occult researcher,
something
and then
like
the other one is her daughter, maybe.
that could be.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So looking at these little mini thumbnails. So Audrey Bell I recognized. Eli White I eventually recognized as your boss. Um, he only appears every like 3 days, so it took me a second to get to know him. And then yeah, the one so the yeah, Audrey Bell, Barton Potter, and Eli White I recognize. Edmund Bishop, no idea. Francesca Robertson, no idea. Rebecca Rose, no idea. Simone Green, no idea. Thaddeus White, no idea. Verona Green, no idea.
Yeah.
Like,
I know one of those guys is the guy who's obsessed with the crows, and the only thing I remember about him is he's like an elderly, like wealthy landowner lord type of guy. So I was like, yeah, I guess that tracks that if you're old and have a ton of money, you can be obsessed with birds if you want, I guess. Like I just remember like that line of thinking when I was reading his little character bio. Is he the one who also owns the big house that you can hunt for stuff in?
oh,
Or is
good
that a different
question.
guy?
Edmund Bishop. Edmund Bishop is a prominent figure in Undermere. Once taught ancient languages, devoted to love of birds. Does not say. The wiki does not say.
I don't think it's him then. I think it is a different guy with a
Okay.
different rich guy with a big house.
Yeah.
I think. But who
Yeah.
that is, I could not tell you.
Yeah, there's one of the 3 maps that you can explore is like an old mansion. So there's like the map of the town, there's like a map of an old mansion where you can go to different rooms, and then there's the map of the tombs where you can like visit specific graves. And if you visit stuff with no particular reason to go there, even if it does end up later containing an artifact, then it just counts as a mistake and it takes away some of your fear sanity thing.
Less than if you do a wrong item during a like
Yeah,
a
yes.
store open day though. Like much less, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're not quite as penalized for going to the wrong, uh, to a bad place as you are for picking the
Yeah.
wrong item.
Yeah. which is nice. I was thankful for that.
Yeah. I like it when, and I feel like I understand why they didn't, but I kind of wish they did it more. I like it when the thing you have to pick is an artifact that you've already identified, and you have to kind of remember what it does and why it would be useful in this situation, right?
Yeah,
Because most of the time you're just puzzling out what is this thing based on its description. Let me choose from one of the, like, 20 items that I don't have identified yet or whatever. But occasionally someone will come in and be like, I don't know what I need, but I need something for this specific purpose. And then you have
mm,
to go through, okay, I've learned about a bunch of things as I've been identifying them. Like what actually is an item that would make sense
yeah.
in
Like
this
what would
moment.
accomplish this goal, this stated goal?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I do wish there were more of those as well. Because a lot of
And
times it feels like here's the item, and then you never have to think about it again,
yeah.
except for like maybe 5 to 10 items that do come up again.
Yeah.
Um,
And I wish they also had a little bit of a wider pool of like what would work and why. Because there was
mhm.
something where I'm like, no, that's absolutely, like, this is calming. This, like, absolutely would have worked to soothe this person. Like, I should be able to give them this.
Yeah, some open-ended choices that are not just pick one of these two things,
Hmm.
one of which is explicitly correct and one of which is explicitly incorrect, basically. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I wish there was a little more open-ended. Oh well.
Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of, if I'm remembering right, it's granted, it's been a long time since we played Valhalla, but I feel like Valhalla maybe tried to do that a little bit more, where it's like
Yeah,
you mix them whatever, but if you like aren't, if you do stuff that's a little off the beaten path, it may have weird consequences later on.
yeah,
Um,
Valhalla basically just like sometimes people would come in and order a specific drink. That's fair. But then other times people would come in and just be like, I'm in the mood for something sweet and like not too alcoholic. And so you just like basically go off the parameters and you do have a lot of options. And then yeah, sometimes there are like the
Maybe a little
special.
too many options in Valhalla, because
yeah,
That's true.
it ended up
Yeah,
not mattering that much. But
yeah,
yeah, it's a hard thing to balance. Ideally, you want like noticeable consequences for the different decisions you're making, and if you have too many options, that can be hard to do. So,
yeah.
but again, like I feel like this is a small team. They were trying to do find a formula that was within scope for what they were making, and I think they did like a pretty decent job of that. Um, I do appreciate at the end of the game, after the like main sequence, there is a epilogue day
Oh
where it
yeah.
just gives you all of the random requests that you didn't randomly draw during the previous place, just so that you can finish identifying all of the things.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. You're correct. Um,
That was
Yeah, because
appreciated.
then you get that nice. Because like sometimes if it's like if it's a binary choice of give them this item or give them this item, the other item that you don't pick never comes up again.
Yeah,
So
you don't get to
they've got
officially
it.
identify it.
Yeah, exactly. So they've got it baked in so that you can like get that accomplishment, which is nice.
Yeah. Yes, I appreciated that. That was a very player friendly touch at the end there.
Mhm.
Even though it felt very mechanical of like, hey, here's all the random NPCs you didn't see, right? Like
Yeah,
it felt very obvious of what they were doing, but I still appreciated it.
yeah, exactly. It's fine. It's a video game. We can have some artifice there. Like
Some video game
it
magic.
doesn't all
Yeah.
have to. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
okay with it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to remember if there was even music. I know there was like a lot of ambient rain sounds and stuff, and like fun sound effects for cranking things and bringing up weird devices. But was there music in this?
I
there was,
think
but
there was. Yeah, there was. It was very
Mostly
in the
one track.
background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
guess that is one thing that we like kind of talked about but didn't really talk about is that the way that your interface is laid out is like sort of meant to mimic like you're physically inhabiting the shop.
Hmm.
But that also applies to weird little puzzles around the shop. So it's like you have to like click on this little crank and then like move your mouse around so that it turns the crank.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Or
know.
like
It's just
slide this drawer open and move the scales over and pick up the weights and put them
yeah.
on the scales. And
I don't know. I appreciate that like weird little physicality
yeah,
in posters or in games like that. Like
it
it's not
reminds.
annoying in the way that like open the door physically like click the door, pull it towards yourself or push it away to open like that's annoying. But this is fine.
Yeah, it had a certain like early iPad game
Hmm.
like tactility to it
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
felt fun. It's good to have something to fidget with a little bit in the store.
Yeah.
And also it gives you an opportunity if you have a lot of things that you have to fidget with. It gives the designer an opportunity to hide control surfaces, right? Like, hey, if you try fidgeting with this, it turns out this is a secret button that you can press that will make
Hmm.
something happen. And you wouldn't be trying to fidget with the environment if there you weren't already kind of prompted to do so by a couple other more obvious things. So that's a cool feature of it as well.
And the other part of that is although it did get stressful sometimes like organizing all the stuff on your shelves.
Yeah. What was your organization scheme by the end of it?
Things I've labeled and things I've not labeled.
I
That
did
was
I
basically how I did it for a lot of the game too. Yes, you're
Yeah,
correct.
the latter half I did move stuff that I'd already labeled off of the main central screen, so I didn't have to go back
Hmm.
and forth as much. But I also like put all of the hanging pendants in one spot and
Mm.
like all of the stuff that I was like pretty sure I knew what it was, like I had a guess, but I hadn't had the opportunity to confirm it yet. Like I put those all in one spot versus things I didn't know at all. I put like items that had a resonant aura together and also like the three mugs together. It's like I tried to
Yeah.
group things. Like these are all like statues that look like they're moon adjacent. So I'm gonna put all the moon type stuff here. Um,
Yeah, I also remember at one point I did like all of the items that start with the letter in the first half of the alphabet. I didn't like alphabetize the items once they were identified, but it was like first half of the alphabet goes over here, just so that I know, like I
yeah, so
have
you
an
can
idea
find it
of where
again
it
in a
is, and then
hurry.
the other half of the alphabet goes over here, and I'll find it from there.
Yeah,
Which did end up coming in handy
yeah,
actually,
I could
because
see
you
that.
there's a
That
lot of items by the end of the game.
yeah,
Your shelves is full,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And I had like, okay, what things am I probably never gonna need again, and I can move this to like a back corner that where it's not gonna bother anything.
I was trying to, once I had opened up the locked section, I was trying to like keep that for a while as like this is the dangerous zone. This is the danger zone. Like trying to put
So
put like spooky, scary, like this'll kill you items in there. But that I ended up like just needing the space, so that didn't
yeah,
last too long. But
yeah. Eventually, you have too many things to be that precious with it.
yeah,
But yeah, no, it's fun. There is some fun to like organize, and the moving the things around is very tactile feeling because you can like adjust them a little bit at a time and squeeze one more thing onto this shelf maybe, or
and
you know,
it makes a little noise. If you hang it up, it makes a different noise than if it's like something you set on the shelf. And the sounds sometimes change depending on like the material. I think if I'm remembering correctly,
something like
like
that.
subtly. So it's yeah, no, it's just all of that little stuff is very they fleshed it out well without it being like too much.
Yeah.
I guess to realize how much I want the game to have like to feature like the cat fiddling with the stuff.
Knocking
Yeah.
something off the shelf.
Yeah,
Or there's like that spider that you because you can turn off the spider in the menu. I saw that if
Oh,
you've got arachnophobia. Um, but there's a little, just like a little tiny spider that crawls around in the grandfather clock, and I wish that the cat would interact with it sometimes.
yeah, try and like bat it away or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was sure that like doing something with the spider was going to come up eventually, but no, I think it just lives there.
Yeah, it's just it's
Just
your other
hang
boss.
around. Yeah, your supervisor.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, fun game overall. I would say not, not particularly deep, but it's a type of gameplay that um, I don't know. I feel like we don't see a ton of.
Yeah.
Um, like as you were saying, like not probably since like Valhalla, really.
Hmm.
Um, and it's nice that you feel like you're actually having to do real deduction, right? Like I've looked at this thing. I've looked at like this. It's almost like a diagnosis game. Like you could make a doctor game in this with this mechanic if you wanted.
That
Where
is
like
true.
I
Yeah.
have looked at this thing. I know what the telltale signs are, and because of X and Y, I am coming to the conclusion that it is this. And then you guess, and then you see if you are right. And they very nicely when you know identify an object, they tell you what the hints were that you were supposed to have used. And
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
it feels very satisfying when you've gotten all of them. But there were definitely times where I'm like, oh, I was supposed to have noticed that as well, and I did not. But I got like
Yeah.
2 out of 3 of the signs, so it's fine. It's close enough.
Yeah, you got enough that you figured it out.
Yeah,
Actually, that would be a great that would be a really fitting like game in this series. It's like a game where you are a physician trying to diagnose people's diseases, like
strange
weird,
malady.
spooky.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you do end up doing that in this game, and I
a
believe
little
it
bit.
also
Yeah.
happens like for like one customer like has some kind of disease, or maybe a couple do.
Mhm.
There's the curses, and then I think it happens
Yeah,
also
you get
in
you get a little book of
strange
curses.
horticulture.
You get a little book of curses, which is like 2 pages long. That's like
Yeah.
here are some curses that can afflict people. And so there are a couple cases where you have to recognize what a particular curse is, and then find the object that cures that curse, um, or addresses that curse in some way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Would I guess the strange horticulture does some sort of like apothecary stuff.
Yeah, it does. Um, but like specifically doctoring, I feel like there's a lot that could be done um for a little spin on it. Also, I just want to see what kind of diseases they can come up with.
yeah, and you could do
Fictional diseases are fun.
if you give it like little tactile, iPad style trace the whatever's type type mini interactions for like applying medicine and stuff, then
Oh
you've
yeah, like
basically
a
got trauma surgeon,
trauma
right?
center. Yeah,
Trauma
I
center.
was just thinking trauma center. Yeah, but hopefully not as God, I played like a little bit of one of those games, and God, it was fucking hard and stressful.
Yes.
Like it got very hard very fast. I was like, I'm gonna play this fun little doctor game. I'm gonna play this little anime doctor game. Nope, you're gonna have a real tough time. It was
I
just funny to me that that's
played
how that ended up.
the Wii game, and in the end, my hands were shaking so much that I physically couldn't play the game.
Oh my god. I think I played one of the DS ones. Or maybe there was only one, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I mean, Strange Antiquities devs, if you want to make strange maladies in the same universe, like I think there already is like an Eldritch Doctor character that was
Yeah.
introduced in this game. You can just have us play as them. Then you can just make another.
Or yeah, or for a lighter take, I could also see something similar with like a cooking theme. I think I want every game to become Cooking Mama. I love when there's like Cooking Mama style mini games in like the Yakuza series, for example,
Mhm.
or the Dave the Diver spinoff that we're apparently getting.
Oh
Great,
yeah, I
more of
saw
that,
the trailer
please.
for that. That actually looked like uh, very
I'm
fun.
very excited for that. I'm very excited for that.
I
So
want
I
Cooking
just yeah
Mama to have a Yakuza spin-off.
yeah yeah. You know what? just like I said, just make every game Cooking Mama from now on forever, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Not like a perfect game like we have alluded to, yeah, small team, small scope, but it's you
But
know,
solid for
it's
what it
it's
is.
it's solid for what it is, and I feel like there's a lot of like opportunity within the bounds of what they've already kind of made to
Mhm.
continue to do stuff.
Yeah. Um, if you end up for the next one having enough money to hire like a character designer to do like fancy character design stuff, I think it would go a long way to helping your narrative read better.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
But otherwise, yeah, enjoyable game.
enjoyable game. Shall we talk about the next one? Are we at
Yeah.
that point?
Yeah.
All right. So next, we are going to be playing Overland, which is a game that is both published and developed by Finji. It is a post-apocalyptic road trip survival game. It is a turn-based strategy game. So you have a little car. You have to make decisions about like who you're going to bring with you and what supplies you're going to bring with you, and you fight like aliens and stuff. Um, it's I have played it like once through before, but obviously it's slightly procedural, so I'm happy to try it again. Um, One thing that would have been useful for me to know from the beginning, which I didn't, you can reset the current level at any point if you
Oh,
make some kind of horrible mistakes. Um, if I had done that, I might not have gotten almost everyone in my party killed. But
that's good to
uh,
know. That's a
yeah,
good pro tip.
yeah. So just FYI, you do have the option to restart a level if you're not happy with how it turned out.
Okay. That's that's good to know because I feel like I'm not very good. Well, I don't play a lot of. I feel like I'm not very good at turn-based strategy.
And
So,
it's a game with permanent consequences. So like if a character dies, you don't have them on the next section, right? Like
okay, yeah, sure.
the, the characters and the supplies carry through from level to level. So uh,
Gotcha.
it may occasionally behoove you to try, and even if you scratched out a win barely, it might behoove you to try and win better.
Okay.
Or not, or play it Iron Man, which I did for 75% of mine. Um, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Looking forward to
All
it.
right. Yeah. I don't have anything to plug, but that's fine. Do
I
y'all
think
have anything to plug?
we have our
Nah.
usual contact us stuff.
Yeah.
If you wanna talk about Overland, or if you want to suggest a game, if you're an indie dev and want to talk game design stuff, or want us to try playing your game, come by the Discord, come chat. It looks like a Deadland in there, but actually that's just because we do most of our chatting in the like private podcast host channel. We are actually monitoring the Discord on a pretty regular basis.
Yeah, it is
Uh,
true.
and so, yeah, we have a link tree that's got a link to that and all of our other relevant info,
Yeah.
including
That
our
is Linktree slash Feedback Force Podcast. Yeah, Feedback Force Podcast. Gotta
uh,
check every time.
is the YouTube on there at this point?
Yes, I added it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we have a YouTube there as well.
Yeah.
Um, if you are not already listening to this on YouTube, or if for some reason you would prefer to listen to these on YouTube rather than wherever else you're listening to this podcast, I don't know.
Yeah. You got options. You got a few.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for coming and listening to us chat.
Yeah. Hopefully we will be a little more timely with the next episode.
Maybe.
We'll do our best. We'll do our best.
Yep.
That's all you can expect from us, and I think that's enough.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Well,
All
listen,
right.
you're not listening to ads. You're not being asked for a
Yeah.
subscription. This is just, we're doing it for the love of the game.
Love of the game, baby.
and so
Hell
you get what
yeah.
you pay for.
Yeah. God, we have not even really ever seriously like it has come up, but we've never really even seriously discussed like what if we get some ad spots on this?
Yeah, or what if we
And
had a
I'm proud
Patreon
of us for
member?
that because God, I fucking hate podcast ads so much. I hate them so much. They're so bad.
Yeah, this is our hobby, and it's a hobby we have not yet monetized. So
Yeah,
maybe we'll keep it that way.
yeah,
Um,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Anyway, thank you for listening. And we will see you in the next one. Uh, bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.